Hello guys, I am Sheev and yes, I made the video why Eve Echoes is dying. It was a bad quality, but it was one of the first videos that I made. I intended to make a remake of that, but I'd rather do an updated version. I have the knowledge from dozens of my podcasts on my channel, as well as I have played this game full time from day one. And I even played in the beta. Right now, as you can see, I am moving my Balgorn through the nullsec to highsec with no intel, of course as always, during a war, again. What can I say? I love the uncertainty and the terror of getting in a situation that I have to struggle to get out of. Personally, I would love the game without insurance. That would make me care a lot more for my hard-earned ISK. So I was thinking, how about we talk about Eve and what we must change, kinda like a new fresh why Eve is dying and what we can do to protect it or solve the issue. And as always, if you like my content, then be sure to subscribe and like this video. My channel is all about making Eve the game we want it to be and helping netties to realize this. On my way to 1,000 subs right now, so if you help me, I won't forget it. And also don't forget to check the giveaway video that I have for you to have a chance to win a nightmare. Now if I have 1,000 subs already, then that probably has been gone away, but in the future I might as well just make some more giveaways, who knows. Tag along and let's have a great time in this video, and I hope I really don't lose this ship.
Warp drive active.
So Eve Echoes has gone through a lot. Whatever you might feel about the game today, they have made progress. The game have several facelifts, but unfortunately every good change they did got swept under the rug, since they also added some idiotic stuff in between. Why can't they just make it easy? Why can't they just listen to what people have to say? And maybe they do, but then I have to ask, is the changes so hard to implement that they just can't change it? Or is the changes so hard due to the complexity of the buttons they have to push? I mean, maybe the buttons and the cranks are immensely big and maybe even corroded. Or maybe they are very, very far away, so it takes just a long time to get there. I don't know. In all fairness, I really just assume that they feel other stuff is more important. Skins, capital ships, I can't say. But I thought I will update everyone on the stuff that most of us is still asking for. And in the end, I will in a short manner add my own personal changes I'd like to see. All these points are vital for the longevity of this game, and even if the game even survives. I have gathered this information for easy access for both you guys and of course netties.
Warp drive
So the
active.
first problem we have is the lag problem. This has been worked on for a long time, and yes, it's better, but as the game grows and more people are playing together, the servers needs to keep up. We still have some bad disconnects in bigger fleets, so keep working on that, netties. The game needs to run smoothly or the experience is gone. No one wants to play a game that you put in real money that you keep losing value due to disconnects all the time. There has been some major talks about this problem and they seem to have a solution for it. Let's hope that works. Now the second biggest thing is actually the insurance. Some people do not like this, but to those people I just say stop being selfish. There are a lot of games that are solo games where you can have everything you ever wanted without any effect of others. But in Eve Echoes, insurance is killing 70% of the core gamers. Industry is slowly dying and we can't help them. Materials are stacking up and losing value. People buy the stuff they need and almost never look at the market again. Changing this might not seem like an easy task, but I assure you, it is. And here is my solution. I will give you two viable ones. First one is to reimburse a lost insured ship with pure ISK. This solves everything. No more changes is needed. Ships and items needs to be built, industry will have stuff to do, materials will get used up. Fix this and you see people getting back to the game the day after the change. I do have another solution, but really why do a more complex change when this is so damn bulletproof? Keep it short and just focus on that solution. So if the lag and the insurance is fixed, then we also don't have to adjust any drop rates to adjust the market overflow. Since the C types are worth nothing and everyone uses it, except if you are maybe 1 or 2 months into the game, we need to fix the C to B type inventing. Instead of having a 30% chance of making a C type into a B type without having any item loss pretty much, here is my solution. Even with the insurance fix, this will also be needed for us to get a pleasant gaming. Instead of using reprocessed materials and one single C type for a 30% chance to upgrade a B type, let's instead do this. Use 10 C type items for a 50% chance to merge into a B type, but also give us the ability to use 20 C types for a 90 or 100% chance, plus the fee of course. This will both fix the item values as well as getting us more B type and A type items, and maybe even an X type here and there. This does not only fix the Dead Space gear, but this also fixes the future faction items. You know, the Garista, the Sansha, the Angel, the Serpentis items. Without these changes, those items will arrive in the game with no effect at all to the gameplay. This will be an add-on that nobody cares about, so don't spoil these netties. Now, to not destroy the C-type reprocessed materials that we already have in our hangars, I have a usage for that one as well. And this usage helps the game in more areas than just this one. I will get into that a bit later.
Warp drive active.
But implement 4 new ships. The Kaldari Navy Hookbill, the Crucifier Navy Issue, the Federation Navy Comet, and the Republic Fleet Firetail. These 4 ships can have a great damage, great resistances, with some individual special bonuses, to make them differ from another. To make these faction frigates, you would need the reprocessed materials to be built from both Dead Space gear and faction gear. These ships will be good enough to take over the Interceptor problem that I also will bring up very soon. But they would be great to see in the battlefield. Make these changes now, get the prices up so that the future stuff is usable. Another thing that is more important than the Interceptors right now is actually fix the unusable regions. Today we have 3 major areas. We have high sec, low sec and null sec. In the future, and probably too soon, I can't believe I just said that, but we will get the wormholes. But low sec is a dead zone. The reason for being there is laughable, and the lack of usage is staggering. I have some great ideas for the usage of this low sec, but I won't go through them all in this video. But what I can say is that adding an element or some specific items that is only farmable in low sec would be a great solution. One of my latest ideas was to implement gas harvesting and to only let those spawn in low sec and maybe in the future wormholes. And this would make people go great length just to set up corporations and jobs to defend their gathering routes. This would make the system into a better usage than just a place you pass to get to know.
Warp drive active.
Yes, there are some storyliners who hang there and of course some pirates hunting them, but in reality this will not work for the long run. My other idea was to make like medium rats spawn there more frequently, as well as faction spawns for us to hunt, implement more belts to mine and let them roam free. This will make Lowsec a big piñata for both loot, PvP and excitement. Get more content for Lowsec pirates, but make it optional for casuals. So let's go back to the Interceptors. Let's nerf some stuff. The problem is so well known that I don't really need to explain. But since you're here and there are people who don't know it, then I will explain the problem. There are a few ships that actually needs a nerf, and there are also some that needs a boost. But I would say that if we just nerf the Interceptors, then we would solve a lot of stuff. And with this we would see more diversity of frigate classes ships in the space. The assault frigates and the destroyers will be viable, as well as the faction frigates that I was talking about. Now netties know this, but let me exactly tell you what to do, so there is no misunderstanding. Remove a high slot from the Interceptors, and nerf or get rid of the damage bonuses on the Interceptors. Also make them basically only being able to carry blueprints. Yeah, scrap the cargo. There is no real reason for a tiny ship to have a large cargo hold. Fix this and we will see a bigger usage for haulers as well. But interceptors are today just breaking the game at this point. Now the real money system is, in my opinion, a big issue, but this is not a problem if the game is fixed. But I want to bring it up because I can see this being implemented in so many better ways. So this is not me saying change it now, but can you try and slowly progress towards a more healthy microtransaction type? This is just me giving some small tips on how this could be better. We have today 3 ways to pay for this game, in terms of playing just for pure gameplay. This is both confusing and it's messy. It feels like it's made to trick people into paying a little and then make them pay more because they just paid a little in the beginning. I want to think of this not as the case, but more like this is their way of making us being able to choose how much we want to pay, which is good, don't get me wrong. I mean, choice is good, but either make this easier to understand or remove it. I would say make it obvious to players that basic Omega or 150 plex is enough to fly and do everything in the game. Many people think that dual Omega, the 500 plex one, is needed. Let me make this clear for everyone. Basic Omega is needed for all access within the game. Standard Omega is only making you skill faster to reach a new tier. Now the Duo Omega makes it even faster. So that is pretty much it. There is also 3 skill ships that you can integrate with your character that will cost ISK. And those also further improve the skill time. Now to make stuff even more complex, we got stuff that you can put money at. Of course we got the Concord Pass, that's also 2 things that you can pay for. One thing is to make you available to every bonuses, and one payment gives you exactly the same thing but also gives you just free 15 levels. This is also confusing for some people. And there is also some stuff in the store that you can straight up buy. I'm not sure how to do this, but I would rather have Omega payment 150 plex, have Omega Plus at 450, 500 plex or something like that. Just make it simpler. This would stop at least some confusion, but this is a hard nut to crack. I would also either use the AUR for clothes and skins or just remove it. Just have plex for sale. We don't need to buy ore to make it into plex, just to make it weird. If we are gonna have AUR, then make it serious and apply it correctly. There is also some smaller stuff that needs to be addressed. I will just go through them very quickly. We need the graphs to the market. Playing the market without any of the necessary help is madness. Implement that tomorrow, alright? Release the faction and officer spawns. We need to have a change in the environment. We need a living universe that we can adapt to from a day-to-day basis. This is an amazing thing that would make us change our daily plans unexpectedly now and then. Also fix the spawn rates of the data and the relic sites. We would rather have more spawns and no good loot the days on end without even any spawns. That also doesn't give any loot. We need the station containers so that we can sort our stuff. This we have been asking for since start. Also make us be able to name our ships. This is a bigger issue than you might think. We have several ships of the same kind and it's very annoying just to have to set active on every ship just to find the corrected fitted one. Okay, so let me get into a few of my personal changes that I would like to see, and I will talk about kill marks. So make the kill marks disappear when you lose a ship. This makes a ship with many kill marks valuable. It will be like a trophy ship. Also, if we don't change this, then everyone will have several hundreds of the kill marks on every ship they own, and kill marks are nothing we would care about. Talking about killing an opportunity. Now going back to market, make stations in different regions have less tax on selling certain items. For example, Amara can have 5% less tax on selling lasers and armors. Caldari can have 5% less tax on missiles and shields. Galente can have 5% on rails and armors, and Minmatar can have on projectiles and shields. You get the idea. This will give us an opportunity to sell stuff in different areas for better profit. It also helps the hauling activity. And speaking of hauling, Implement the commodities such as wheat, water, drugs, and so on. Make NPCs sell them and buy them at different systems so that casuals who play this game can fly around making smaller profit by locating these items and bringing them to the highest bidder. High sec, low sec, and maybe even null sec. This is a great way for casuals to be a part of EVE as well. It's big enough for all of us. Another thing I've been thinking about is a way to rate corporations. To be in a corporation early is vital in this game, you know, making friends, joining a community. And the people that leaves the game due to bad or unfair corporation is more than you think. If we could somehow rate the corporation, the new players can easily see what corporation there is and that might be suitable for them. Or maybe if we implement a retention rate in a corporation or have an average number of days members stayed. This would show how many people are joining and leaving, giving an indication of people who joined the place and actually stays, or if they leave. Now for the PvP part, open up the real PvP arena with ranking. Let us fly our own ships in a dead zone that only lets one pilot out in the end. The winner gets the other person's loot and gets a higher PvP ranking. Have it in tiers of frigates versus frigates, cruisers versus cruisers, and so on. Let us decide our own fitting from our own hangars and let us enter this arena for the glory. A small add-on would be like the top 100 PvP players could get a medal or something, and the number 1 every league could get a statue or a notification in the station in a separate window. Something fun for people to look at. I could go on a lot longer, but now I've moved my ship to safety and this video is far longer than I normally do, so this has to be enough. Thank you all for hearing me out. Like this video if you agree to make NetEase notice this one, and let's hope that they finally take notes and start repairing this game. And I see you soon again.
Autopilot engaged.